In today's video, we're going to taste all 20 beers of my small batch 2-hop series featuring Centennial and Cascade. Welcome back, everybody. So, I guess I'm dumb for doing this, but today we are going to taste all 20 beers of, I should say, like the first grouping of my small batch 2-hop series featuring Cascade and Centennial. Some of them I just got done reviewing separately. That's why they're out. So if you haven't, go back and check those out. The other ones I have not opened. We're going to see how this goes. I did 6 of them. It was fine. It was just almost an overload of like floral citrus. So we'll see how this goes. Probably what I'm going to do after I pour them is get the actual bottles off to the side, and then we'll kind of see what everyone does. I have all 20 of the recipes in front of me. The first one, if it is correct, which I don't know if it is, it could be, it was brewed July 26th, and the last one was brewed October 6th. So that should give you an idea of how long it took me to brew each one of these. I will say what the ABV and when it was bottled, and then we'll just go from there. I think I can do most of the information from the bottles, but just in case, I do have all 20 of them. So, number 1. This was the first one, obviously. This is Cascade and Centennial, are bottled on 8.8, 6.73% ABV. I do remember this one. This would be the third review of it. I hope you guys can still see everything. I'm just going to set them over here. It looks like there's a lot in there. I'm going to stand up for a second just to see. Okay, so this is the third tasting of it. Okay, I was right. Beer number 2. Beer number 2 is the opposite of beer number 1. This is Centennial Cascade. So all these, most of them, are using 2 pounds, 4 ounces of 2-row. Then for hop schedule, 0.25 ounces at 60 minutes, 0.25 ounces at 10 minutes, 0.25 ounces at 5 minutes, then 0.25 of each in dry hopping 3 days into fermentation. Most of them are doing that. There are some that we did start using some different malts. So maybe the malt bill is a little bit higher, but we will find that out when we get to it. So beer number 2 was bottled on 8/11, 5.47%, which is almost a full percent lower than beer number 1. Beer number 3. I remember this one quite well. This is Centennial Cascade using oats. Half a pound of oats in this one. This was bottled on 8/12, 7.69%. The thing I learned about this one is that oats actually have sugar and will up the ABV. I didn't think that oats had that much sugar, but from beer 1 to beer 3 is kind of a jump in ABV. I do have my phone over here because I do know my camera only records for 20 minutes, so we're gonna have to change it. Beer number 4 is Cascade Centennial using smoked cherry malt. Bottled on 8/29, came in at 7.14% ABV. If I remember right, I didn't get a lot of smokiness, cherryness off of it. I know people had comments, and I thought it was going to be like using cherry wood in your smoker. It does come off kind of fruity. That's why they use an apple or a cherry or a pecan, something like that. Beer number 5 is Cascade Centennial Cascade with Vienna malt. 8/30 is the bottle date. 7.51% ABV. Get it into a glass. Then this next one will be the first big review I did of the first 6 beers. And this, the color on this one, because this is using Crystal 40, is going to change a lot. So if you're looking at them, get ready for a big change. So this beer number 6 is Cascade Centennial using Crystal 40, bottled on 9/8, 6.89% ABV. Holy cow. There we go. I need skinnier, taller glasses because the glasses don't fit in line with the actual beers. So I hope I have 20 glasses here. I actually had to, I have a whole bunch of them in the fridge, or in the freezer. I know some people don't like that because they say once you pull it out and put beer in there, it's going to water it down. But I did it. So beer number 7 is Centennial Cascade using Fruity Pebble hops. I would definitely go back and check out that. Bottled on 9/15, 8.55% ABV. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be overlapping. Hopefully I don't get these too confused. Obviously, there's no way in heck I could drink every single one of these. So if you're thinking after this review I'm going to sit down here and finish these, you're wrong, because there's no way I could drink all these beers. Beer number 8 is Cascade Centennial, first wort hopping of the Cascade, bottled on 9/15, 6.93% ABV. I started liking these. I liked how that first wort hop kind of smoothed out the hop flavor instead of like the 60-minute being so harsh. And I will be doing that with some beers in the future. I want to try it with Warrior and Nugget as my 60-minute additions just to see what it does to that. I'm going to have a lot of bottles to clean too. Beer number 9 is Centennial Cascade, first wort hop using the Centennial hops, bottled on 9/15, 7.12% ABV. Get this one into a glass. One thing, in most of the first reviews that I did on these, because I'm using the Big Mouth Bubblers, I was getting a lot of trub and hop particles on there. So far I don't see any. Beer number 10 is Centennial Cascade with first wort hop using the end of the hop. So we're using 0.25 ounces of both Cascade and Centennial in this one. And that's what they really call for, is you use like 30 to 50% of your late addition hops as your first wort hops. But I wanted to see what it did to the beer doing it both ways, as we are testing a lot of these. I've never done it before, so I wanted to see what it would do. Oops, I guess I didn't. I'm getting ahead of myself already. So beer number 11 is Cascade Centennial, first wort hop using end hop, so 0.25 ounces of each is the first wort hop. Then, so between beer number 10 and beer number 11, the 60-minute edition, one was Centennial, one was Cascade. This was bottled on 9/22, 6.34% ABV. I'm already starting. Crossing over. I know I'm like right on the edge of the camera, so I cannot take it out anymore. So beer number 12 is Cascade Centennial Whirlpool Edition, 9/27, 6.25% ABV. Obviously, Whirlpool hops You're going to do them when the wort starts cooling down, usually 170 degrees, so that way you're not adding a lot of IBUs. Let a hop stand set for 15 to 30 minutes of your choosing. On this one, I think I did 15 on both of them. Then beer number 13 is Centennial Cascade Whirlpool 927 is bottle date 5.85% ABV. I will try, depending on what we have to do here to actually get these all in line, I will try and put 1, 2, 3, 4 like that on the bottles, so that way we can kind of see what they are. I don't know how I want to do this. So that was 13. So 14 is Centennial Cascade times 1. Now that times 1 is the dry hop. I used just 0.25 ounces of Cascade or Centennial as the dry hop. Beer number 15 is the same, but 2 times the Centennial. So 0.5 ounces of Centennial for the dry hop. Beer number 16 is Centennial Cascade using honey malt. That was bottled on 10.5, 6.49% ABV. Beer 17 is Centennial Cascade 2-row with wheat malt, half wheat, half 2-row, bottled 10/21, 6.89% ABV. Beer number 18, Centennial Cascade, honey and oat, so 2-row with 4 ounces of honey malt, 4 ounces of flaked oats, bottled on 10/22, 7.52% ABV. As I said, oats do have sugar in them, and that is bumping up the ABV. Beer number 19, Centennial Cascade using SO4 yeast. We're just reverting back to beer 1 and beer 2. We'll kind of put them side by side so you can see what SO4 does. Beer number 20, the final beer, Cascade Centennial SO4, bottled on 10/21, same as 19, 7.71% ABV. For the color, I think you can see all these. Let me check the time. I think you can see all these. Here's the other two. So, I don't know how the heck I'm going to do this. So, let's go ahead and smell beer number 1, beer number 2, then kind of go down the list. At some point, I'm going to have to start the video over. Heads. Let's just look at heads real quick. Beer 1 has a nice, thick, white head on it. Finger of head. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 kind of has a good head. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 has a good head. I'm starting to get some peaks in there. 11 also has a good head. 13 also has a good head. 14 has an okay head. 19 and 20 have a head. I think number 1 is the best. So, for at least head retention, as of right now, I don't know why, I would go with beer number 1. And that was bottled on the same day, 8/8. That was the earliest, so maybe the carbonation level is a little bit higher. It's had time to sit. It's a little over 2 months old, 3 months old. So maybe it just takes a little longer when you're using carbonation tablets. Color. Obviously, this is very dark. This is using the Crystal 40. That's what you're going to get. It's kilned a little longer, so you're going to get more of that caramel. If we pull this one out, this is the oat one. This is the honey one. So that and that. So on this one, this is the Crystal 40. This is just honey oat. The honey oats that I used was 25 SRM, and this is honey. Did I say honey oat? This is honey malt. This is honey malt and oats. To me, this one is a little hazier than all of them, but this one is using oat. So if you used a Crystal 40 malt, you're going to come up with a beer like this. It looks more like an amber beer. So let me put these back in the correct position. Like that. For I guess bright yellow, maybe that New England style. This one is standing out to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7 was the Fruity Pebbles beer. But this one is really looking New England style. That kind of looks like it. This one is a little bit more hazy. Hopefully you guys can still see my head. And this is like a USO4. I would take the USO4. SO4. For me, the SO4 versions win if we're looking for that bright yellow in color. But if you use a USO5 yeast, that Fruity Pebbles one looks pretty good. Okay. Let me see. I've got 3 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and restart it. Then we'll get into smells and tastes. Okay, we're back. Let's go ahead and start smelling these. Beer number 1. A good floral sweet malt mix, a little bit of citrus. Beer number 1, I think, really lends itself to show you what the Cascade hop smells like. Cascade is going to be floral with a little bit of citrus in it, and this one does show that. Maybe because it's 3 months old, it is showing a little sweet malt in there. But this one, I still remember that smell. It does smell floral like you would expect from a Cascade hop. But there is a little bit of citrus in there. But like I said, right now, that one is smelling like it has a little bit of sweet malt in there. Beer number 2. Beer number 2 smells like it does have that grapefruit citrus vibe, bitterness in the smell. You are getting a little bit of sweet malt, but that one really lends itself, I think, to what the aroma and flavors of the Centennial hop are. Which beer 1 is using more Cascade, beer number 2 is using more Centennial. That's what you would think. Beer number 3, it kind of smells oaty and floral. And to me, that one's weird because that one's using the Centennial then the Cascade. So it's using more Centennial than it is Cascade. But that brings out more of that floral, so that more of that Cascade to me. Beer number 4. Beer number 4... It does smell more toasted bread like Vienna should. I'm hoping that's what it is. Yeah. No, cherry. It smells more toasted bread. I'm glad I didn't have them sitting here. It smells more toasted bread. This smells like Vienna. This I have done a couple smash beers with Vienna. This smells like what Vienna should. So is beer number 5 Vienna? See, I don't even know. Yes, beer number 5 is Vienna. This one smells more danky, like overdone, like too much hops. Maybe a touch of toasted bread, but if anything, I would say these two need to flip. But that's just me. I would think maybe, okay, danky, maybe that's kind of a wood, so it's a smoked wood. Yeah. Okay, beer number 6. It smells like a little sweeter beer. I am getting a little floral, a little citrus, maybe a little caramel in there, but nothing very big. Beer number 7. I don't know. It smells good, but I can't tell you what it smells like. Old cereal, but it doesn't. It tastes like some, or it smells like something I want to drink. Not the fresh fruity pebble cereal, but maybe like an older cereal. Beer number 8. A malty. What was beer number 8? I should have had all these moved out. This smells like it's overdone. Like an overdone honey water. Not a first wort hop with what Cascade. Beer number 9 is obviously the other first wort hop. They smell exactly the same and look exactly the same. I couldn't tell you. I would say the head on number 9 looks better. I couldn't tell you there's a difference in those. I would say those are both brewed with the same exact thing. So beer number 9. 10. Beer number 10. What's beer number 10? Okay. So this is using Centennial at 60 minutes. Yeah, grapefruit citrus. It really comes out, especially after smelling 8, 9. That one really comes out with a citrus grapefruit. Beer number 11. That one definitely does more floral. My guess is because it's the 60-minute edition, one's using Centennial, one's using Cascade, so you're getting the main aromas from those hops. 12 is the Whirlpool. That has a very nice mix of floral citrus. Almost a lemongrass. 13 will be the same. I'm going to need a teleprompter so I know which one is what. This one has kind of the same the same lemongrass character, but more lemony. Okay, 14. A little sweet malt, more on the citrus side on that one. 15. 15 is almost amped up, but it's got a little floral in there. 16. You can really, this is the wheat or the honey. Yeah, you can really tell it's like a honey water, not as sweet, but a honey water in there. 17. This one smells wheaty. After smelling all these, there's definitely wheat in that one. Holy cow. This one kind of smells like that honey water too. But it's got like a floral with a touch of citrus in the background. More floral in this one, which is weird because it's Centennial first. This one has a more clean smell. Not as much floral, a little bit of citrus, which you think it would be reversed. Okay. Hopefully that gave you some kind of, okay, maybe this is what it would smell like if I brewed this. For tasting, I'm just going to go down, taste a little bit of each one. We'll eliminate some, and then we'll try and get down to which one I think is the best. That head is just like caked on there. Holy cow. Like, look at that. It's like meringue. This tastes like a mature beer. Like everything has gelled together. A little bit of floral, a little bit of citrus, maybe a little too light in the body for the hop profiles that are coming out now. Aftertaste is more of a toasted bread quality. Not a lot of bitterness. I think it needs a little bit more bitterness. Beer number 2. Beer number 2 has a little bit more bitterness, like grapefruit zest bitterness in it than beer number 1. And I'm guessing that would be because the Centennial's used more. It's a little higher in alpha acid, so that's why that's coming off like that. I'm dreading this one. This oat version. I think time has helped that. The body is very, very thick. Like if you could put some roasted malts in that with some coffee beans, that's a thick stout. Does it work for an IPA? No. I'm getting the similar profile to beer 2. I get some of that fruitiness. The grapefruit's not as high, but I think that oat has is cutting down on some of that. So even right now, I'm gonna eliminate beer number 3. It's not a beer I think anybody should make. It's overdone with the malt. So beer number 4. That's kind of back to normal. I don't get woodsy. I can see, and I have to look over there to see what it was. I can't pick up on that cherry. Maybe a tiny bit of woodsy. I actually think it's good. It is a little woodsy. So we'll keep that. So we have to remember, or at least I have to remember. So beer 1, beer 2, beer 4. Check the time. So 5. A little citrus, but that's it. Yeah, I don't think anything sticks out. Maybe I think it needs more Vienna to really stick out. Maybe the hops are overpowering it, but in my eyes, I don't think it should be in here. So what I'm gonna do somehow is put these next to each other. I don't know if you guys can still see me or not. Okay, beer number 6. It adds a little like caramel, like a little bit of roastedness to it. So it's like a floral with a hint of citrus roast in there. It's almost like, because I'm getting that slight roast, like I want more. Um, I think the floral does work well with that malt, but I want more. Like, I want it to be a bigger, bolder flavor to play with that floral. Nice and smooth. It works well. I just wouldn't drink it because it's floral. It's a little too much floral for me, and like I said, I want that maybe roasted malt up just a tiny bit. Maybe with a Crystal 60, that might have enough where it's almost turning into a brown. Maybe if you added a little bit of different malt. But yeah, for me on this one has to go also. So, beer 7. Fruity Pebble beer. Let me see time. Okay. 3 minutes. Old, like, grainy cereal. Yeah, that didn't work out as well as it smelled. It's not bad, but no, not working. The reason I'm putting this by there is I'm gonna do like a little video. But let me reset, and well, we can do one more. So this is beer 8. If I can find beer 8, there we go. So this is first wort hop using Cascade. Nope. Way too much floral. Don't even want it. Now, if you're a Cascade fan and you like that floral, yes, I could definitely see that. But to me, it is just overpowering. It's got more powerful over time. I did do a review at a month on that, and it seems like it's come out more like that floral feature of the Cascade is still in my mouth, and it's not something I want. Beer number 9. This one does have a little bit more grapefruit. It has the floral. I don't think I would make it. I think it's got a little too much floral. The funny thing, it tastes more mature, like it did when I did the first review, as that first wort hopping smooths out the edges. It is smooth, but definitely I don't think I would make it. That floral is too much, and it's still using it 10 minutes and 5 minutes. And it could just be that you're getting that from the Centennial, since it is a super Cascade, but just a little too much for me. Okay, beer number 10. This is using the end hops as the first wort hopping. Pretty good. I'll keep that there. I'm going to put this like this because now I have to remember which order they're in and what's what. And I'm going to move all these. Okay, beer 11. A little too much floral. That floral is coming out. Let me make sure. Yeah, that Cascade at 60 minutes. It's there and it's staying there. No, thank you. So that was beer 11. Beer 12. First, or Whirlpool hops. That citrus grapefruit with a little pot or a little floral in the back is good. That's like perfect. I think the body is a little thin, but that citrus grapefruit really comes through in there. So I think as of right now, I would rather do a Whirlpool edition than a first wort hop. Let's try beer 13, which is the same, just now this is Centennial. So 11 was Cascade, this one's Centennial. This one tastes a lot sweeter, like a sweeter citrus than beer number 12. We're going to keep that up there. This is going to be a long video. We're going to keep that up there. Okay, so 13 or 14 is Centennial Cascade with only 1x of the dry hop. I don't think it compares at all to beer 13. It's lighter. It doesn't have that same quality. It is a little warmer, but I would put 14 out. And this is where I start getting full. So 15 is the same thing, just double the Centennial as the dry hop. Yeah, it's got that same quality, just upped a little bit. It's like that sweet citrus. Something I could drink, but it's like it's not balanced enough. Like that citrus, I wouldn't even say like acidic grapefruit is there. Yeah, I would probably send this one out. It's not as balanced and it doesn't taste the flavors aren't as big as in the other one. So let's put this one out too. Okay, so beer number 16 is the Centennial Cascade with honey. Very honey. I could see a lot of people liking this. That honey sweetness is there. There's a little citrus, a little floral. I would say there's more floral than citrus there. Toasted bread, like honey toasted bread, something like that. That could be because it's been sitting out a little bit. Excuse me. I started this at 4:15. It's now 6:08. I think that honey malt is a little too much for the hop profile of Cascade Centennial. I think that honey profile belongs more in a brown, an amber, maybe a porter than it does a IPA like this, where we're trying to bring out those flavors. So because of that, I have to put it out. 17, two-row and wheat. That's good. That wheat really plays well with, I'm guessing it's the Centennial. It's like a weedy citrus. More toasted bread, weedy, wheat bread citrus in there. I would keep that in. So we'll keep 17 in. If I can get it. There we go. 18. So this is honey, oats, and two-row. That grapefruit really comes through. Yeah, let's keep that in too. And I'll put that over there. I'm going to have to move some of this stuff. 19. That same thing's still there. So I would say it's probably been an hour since I've done the review on 19. And that like sweet dough is still in there. The head's still there. That's good. We're keeping that in there. And that is the Centennial Cascade version. Okay, beer number 20. That's good. That tastes almost identical now. I don't know if it's worth keeping both of those in there. That tastes identical to that one. So I don't know if that means the alpha acids, the higher alpha acid is taking over, and that SO4 is taking advantage of that higher alpha acid. But at least, I mean, obviously I've drank a ton, but those two taste identical. Okay, so we've narrowed it down. I had to replace the battery and all that. So we have beer 1, beer 2, beer 4, beer 10, beer 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, and 20. looking at the colors, this one and this one are the darkest, which is kind of weird for this one, because this one, or this is number 12, this is number 13. They use the same whirlpool. It's just number 12 is Cascade Centennial. Number 13 is Centennial Cascade. And there is a difference. And maybe the oils in Cascade are a little bit higher than Centennial. And that's why we're getting the color difference. But I think if that was the case, this and this should look the same. And they don't. So I don't know what's going on there. Okay, let's narrow it down. I can tell you right now, these two taste identical and they taste the best, in my opinion. But let's see if we can weed some of these out. Getting more nitty gritty, this one tastes more bready citrus than anything. Bready floral citrus than anything. And I don't like... We're dealing with IPAs, session IPAs. And in that, I wouldn't want that. So I would eliminate that. That's good. I would keep number 2. So number 4 is the cherry. The woodiness comes off a little too strong when having it after beer 1. And it's not something I want to drink a lot of, so I would eliminate beer number 4. Which is weird because I wanted more smoked cherry and it's more woodsy. So beer number 10. That's got it's a good citrus taste. There's a little bit of floral in there. It's almost medium body. It does well. I think beer number 12, the Cascade version, has a little too much floral. So let's eliminate that. And again, obviously, this is all based on me. So if you're into floral, you might think something different. So beer 1 is gone. I'm just going to put it over here. So we have beer 2, beer 10, 13. Beer 13 is meh. It tastes good, but against beer 10 and beer 2, I don't like it as much. Let's take that out. 17. It doesn't... It tastes more like honey water than anything when after drinking these, so let's get that out of there. 18, I'm guessing is going to be the same. '18 has more of a citrus bite, like an old citrus, almost. An older, like, citrus orange, and I want it to be fresh, so let's get rid of that. We'll move these down. Yes, I'm full. 19 and 20. the citrus is like a juicy citrus. So I don't know if that's the SO4. It has to be the SO4 that's adding something to it. I don't know if it's some sweetness or it's not attenuating all the way, so there's leftover sugar, but it's more juicy citrus than anything. Like, it's totally different than any of the other ones. 20 is the same way. Um, if I had to pick, I would take out 2 and 10. Just because of that juicy citrus that's in those. I don't know if I could pick between these two. Okay, let's go in for, let me check time. Okay. Smell. I think the Cascade Centennial number 20 has a better smell than the Centennial Cascade. I think that's a little more juicy citrus than the Centennial Cascade, which is weird. But I would pick for, geez, for smell, I would go with beer 20. Let's taste. I'd go with 20. I think 20 has more of that juicy citrus with actually less floral than 19. I think 20 sticks out a lot more than 19, even though they have that similar juicy fruit quality. Not juicy fruit, juicy citrus quality. Yeah, it has to be 20. So as of right now, beer 20 wins. Let me know if you want to do this. You want me to do this again. I think the better combination is some of the, honey malt versus honey malt, and like the SO5 versus the USO5, USO4, or SO4 versus the USO5, instead of doing all 20, because this is a nightmare to try and keep track of. But yeah, I think version or 20 is the best out of this, and I actually thought number 2 was going to be the best just because of that citrus grapefruit quality, but 20 wins. So let me know what you would do if you had 20 beers, and let me know what one you think would be the best in this. Thumbs up if you like this, thumbs down if you don't. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when new videos are coming out. And until next time, happy brewing.